Brooke Russell Astor was not, in fact, the last Mrs. Astor. Just as 4 generations of Astor women bearing that name preceded her, at least 2 generations of Astor wives will survive her. Still, she promises to be the last Mrs. Astor to claim an exclusive right to the title. Only one of her predecessors, Caroline Schermerhorn Astor, managed to pull off such a feat. In their prime, both women loomed large in the imaginations of their fellow New Yorkers. Both recognized that New York was a city that thrived on self-invention, a city where the cut of your suit could count for more than the place you came from. In the late 19th century, a meatpacking baron could get off the train in Hoboken and move into a Fifth Avenue chateau and immediately be treated as someone to reckon with. 100 years later, the chateau had given way to a luxury apartment, but not much else had changed. Great wealth made possible the power enjoyed by the 2 Mrs. Astors. A family name, long associated with the city, also played a part. But without the money or the name, the 2 Mrs. Astors would have made an impression. Both lived through times of great economic instability. Both viewed New York as a city under siege and were able to get other New Yorkers to see things the way they did. Both believed that by setting an example, they had the power to make things right again. Both made their mark without Astor husbands by their sides, and lived long enough to see their names count for more than their husbands ever had. Yet no 2 women could have been less alike. Caroline Schermerhorn Astor, born into an old New York family that claimed descent from the first Dutch settlers, believed that in marrying an Astor, she was marrying beneath her. Caroline Astor was neither beautiful nor amusing, and owed much of her position as Queen of New York society to the lavishness of her entertaining, the costliness of her gowns, a strong sense of mission, and a self-appointed court chamberlain by the name of Ward McAllister, who shared her passionate desire to maintain certain well-defined standards. Delighted to act as her gatekeeper, McAllister was soon treating her every prejudice as gospel and spreading the word to a world that proved surprisingly eager to listen to what he had to say. Why, there are only about 400 people in fashionable New York society.